see that happen. It just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Back to Mixon on first down. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Harrell going deep downfield for Ross. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are going to take a first quarter lead. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Myers now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets... a new set of downs.
That's it, baby. That's it. That's it. Big hit. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Fighting his way through contact. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Now it's Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Play action. Now Jackson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and now it's third down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on third down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going deep downfield for Rowe. He's got a man. Complete. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
To throw on 2nd down. Harrell dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
From the gun on 3rd down. Harrell got a man. It's Ross, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 2 touchdowns for him already in this first half. This one good for a 1st down.
Watch it now, Barney.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. Flashed the stick skills on that run, but then stopped shy of the 35. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Over. Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Now an Eastern Michigan man, Darius Jackson on the carry. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Operating from the gun. Harrell. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56.
They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
2nd quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Set! 319!
And they'll go on the ground. And some room to work. And they'll take him down at at the 31-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup there, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down.
It finds Crabtree for the completion. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 30 yards there. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Here we go now. Green 39! Green 39!
On second down, here's Jackson. Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on third and long.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
Jackson from the shotgun. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. First and 10 at the 19.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Here's Jackson. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. He'll get it up the middle. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it third and goal. Jackson now. And just as you called it after the earlier sack, they set up the screen. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up fourth down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on third down.
And ordinarily on third down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all of your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now, here come the Bengals. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now Joe Mixon, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Harrell firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I like his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 18. A beautiful fake. Elsewhere on this Sunday in the NFL, they're in the second quarter in Detroit. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They come out here in the I.
Gun!
second down, Jackson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. In for the score. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Off the play fake. Harrell airing it out for Hearns. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
After the interception, here's Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. He'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. He sets to fire deep. And this one is incomplete. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Jackson now to throw on 2nd down. Man open, that's Jaleel Scott. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
To throw is Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. From the gun, Jackson. steps away to his left. Shedding the tackle. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it third down. To throw is Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 23 yards on the play. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And Howland Sink was the quarterback in his center on that play. They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's Jackson looking to throw on 2nd down. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing is Jackson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
So on the big tight end, Holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, Harrell. Dancing to his left. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Off play action. Harrell. Flush to his right. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Harrell. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Jackson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Scott. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. And they'll run it here. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw on 2nd down. Jackson. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another 1st down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Jaleel Scott, 30 yards. And the Ravens are in for 6. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals getting set to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Throwing on 1st down. Harrell. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Tim Williams in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. From the gun, Harrell. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution, it's not just performance, it's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Looking to throw. Harrell escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. It put their defense in a really tough spot.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
And on the ground they go with the running back. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Play action. It's Jackson. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Hut! Hut!
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Back now in Cincinnati, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Taken in at the 11. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Harrell. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll run it with Jackson. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the 1st down. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Harrell. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
A handoff to Mixon, and he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Looking to throw on second down. Harrell brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Here's a give to Mixon. And able to work his way down to the 16. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On second down, here's Mixon. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Throwing on first down. Harrell complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Mixon. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Harrell, and he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Myers able to knock it through, and that'll bring him back within a point. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now Jackson to throw on second down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Carl Lawson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Jackson throwing on 3rd and long. Eluding the pressure right. And some room to roam now. Breaks a tackle. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. But, oh, he's going to take this out of the back of the end zone. And that's going to be a safety. And that disastrous play, partner, is ultimately going to seal their fate in this one, isn't it?
It certainly is, because they gave up the 2 points, but that's not really what did it. It's having to give up the football. And because they gave up the football, guess what? The other team now can take the ball and close this game out.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've got the lead by 3, late stages of the game. What's the message here? Just hang on to the football? Is it that simple?
That's exactly right, because ball security is paramount. And you got a small cushion. A field goal can tie you, but you don't even think that way. Just take care of the ball, close out the game.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now Jackson. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And down inside the 35 he goes to the 32-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. inside the 25-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Very much in range for a tying field goal as they hurry to the line. He'll look to throw to Mixon on the check down. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. He's back to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Took their shot at going for the win, didn't get it. Now bring on the field goal unit, tie this thing.
It's the right call.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Ravens, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll fall to 1-1. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Nothing on that beat.